Podcast on the beach, man.
Podcast in Mexico. Mothers
You know?
take Mexico.
Huh?
Mothers take Mexico.
Yeah, dude.
How is
Alright.
your Spanish, Cam?
It's getting better. It's getting better.
How's my Spanish?
My Spanish is amazing. What are you talking about?
How's my Spanish?
Your Spanish is always good. All right, guys. We are doing our podcast. This is episode
5?
I don't even know. This is the Prix-Monaco podcast.
I'm so excited for Monaco.
And we are actually in Monaco because we're going to see the race there, right? No,
Yeah.
we're not. Just
That would be
kidding.
amazing.
We're in Mexico because we actually have a special guest who is going to actually be on our podcast today.
That's
Sergio
so BS.
Perez is going to be joining. What do you mean?
Because it's a day before Monaco. And
Yeah, he's going to fly in, do the podcast, and then fly out.
Checo, if
That's
you
kinda-
ever see this.
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Sorry. Hello? Oh, Checo, ¿cómo está? Oh, no. Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay. That was Checo. He said he couldn't make it.
Oh,
That's too bad.
that's sad.
We're going to have to do it without him.
Oh my God, I would die if we saw Checo.
It was real, though. He was actually
Yeah.
going to come. All right, so we are here on Mexico, or we are on vacation.
We're on Mexico.
Technically, we are. This is Mexico.
We're on Mexican land.
We're on vacation in Mexico. And Monaco is this Sunday. So obviously, we got the commitment to our podcast here. So we're obviously going to do our podcast.
It's a real beach.
Even though we're still on the beach. Yeah, it is a real beach. So, yeah. Obviously, we can't miss a podcast, so we're going to do one. Yeah, I mean?
This is called commitment.
Yeah, dude.
Cam actually has had pretty significant sunburn.
Yeah.
So we have a very limited amount of time to
Why
do
are you
this.
putting all my business out there, dude?
Because everybody needs to know. I tan like a goddess, and Cam goes red
Yeah.
and then tans like a god.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm pretty tan right now, though.
Yeah. Well, they didn't see you the first day.
Yeah.
All of that aside.
Yeah. I'm just going to double check the exposure
Okay.
on the camera. Going to get nice and close to everybody here. Might darken it up a little bit. Is that darker?
There.
Okay, we got it.
Nice.
If we go into, I don't know if we're going to go into like clouds. If it does, I may have to adjust it
Just
again.
grab it. Okay, that's fine. Got the time.
So, all right. So, the Spanish. The Espanol.
You have no excuse not to be able to talk this podcast. You
The
are fully rested.
So the Spanish Grand Prix just happened.
Oh my God.
Okay. Interesting race.
Not
interesting, but I mean every F1 race is interesting. We say they're all interesting.
It's not action packed though, but it was very interesting, and I've really enjoyed like the post commentary quite a bit. So I guess just let's recap the Spanish Grand Prix. No crazy conditions, like no rain. It was pretty much what you expected it to be, like on the grid.
Yeah.
And I guess just starting off from the beginning was Max got away really well.
Yeah. Did Max get pole on that race? No, he didn't, did he?
Lewis did.
Lewis got pole. So Lewis got pole, but Max Verstappen got a great start and pulled away. And
Not
again,
once, but twice.
And this is a big reason why I actually like Max quite a lot. I'm just trying to pull up the results.
Yeah.
A big reason why I like Max quite a bit is because, and we mentioned this before, like he's such a tenacious driver.
Yeah.
Like he takes the risks, and and he really was like aggressive off the start, and through that first turn, he kept like Lewis out.
Okay.
And he was able to kind of muscle through it. Even the commentators, I think Ted was saying he like had his elbows out. That's
With
a really
razor
great,
blades.
it's a really great like reference, right?
Yeah. Red Bull just had their arms out this
Yeah.
race with like Max getting away, and then there was a really great like midway through the race, Perez kind of put his arms out too and got past Daniel Ricciardo. So,
Yeah.
the Red Bulls obviously got speed.
But you're not going to win
No.
against Hamilton unless you're willing to be like pretty aggressive, right?
So aside, tangent that I know you love when I do on Max and Hamilton.
Yeah.
So did you hear about like how Hamilton basically was like, I've avoided coming into contact with Max and like I've avoided collisions.
Yeah.
And Max has something to prove, and maybe that's why he's driving that way. And
who?
Hamilton said this. Oh, so you missed this. So Hamilton was basically like, you know, Max has something to prove, and there's a reason that I have the stats that I do, and obviously, like, I'm not in that same place. And then Max retaliated, and he's like, I don't have anything to prove. It takes two to avoid the collisions.
Hamilton says that Max has something to prove?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
So, but then the thing is... Of
course he has something to prove.
The thing is like, Lewis was like, you have to avoid, like, or Max was like, you have to do two people. It's like, it takes two to tango. It's two people to avoid collisions. So he's like, we have done well to avoid collisions. Mm-hmm. And the reason that came up is because the first turn at Monaco is incredibly, like crash prone.
Yeah.
And Hamilton was like, basically Max should do well to like avoid me in that area.
I think the whole circuit is pretty crash prone. Even that thing I was telling you that I was watching with Daniel Ricciardo, like he was even saying, he's like, you can't get through this race unless you're willing to like take risks.
We'll get to that actually.
Like you have to take risks here. But you know, I think with both of them, like to Lewis's point, like you can race without getting into a crash, and that takes skills. And I think, it's like, but then it's like, what also comes with that is that if a guy is like, for example, if he's on the racing line, like you have to back off if you're not, right? So in Hamilton's case, it's like if Verstappen has the advantage, as Lewis Hamilton, you have to back off and let him take it. That's how, if you want to avoid collisions, that's how it's done.
The gentleman's rules and also racing rules.
Can't say the same for Mazepin, though. You know what I mean?
Can't say the same for Stroll either, and we're going to get there. Mazepin's a little different.
Yeah, just watch it. Watch your language, though, you know.
I am keeping it PG. I really enjoyed the Spanish Grand Prix, though, because it just showed... I mean, it was heartbreaking because it really was Hungary 2019 all over again for Max. And I think just, bumping to the point, obviously, Lewis Hamilton won the Spanish Grand Prix, and Max came into a very close second. Yeah. But the undercut and doing the two stop...
The pit stop strategy.
Yeah, the pit stop strategy with Mercedes was just on point. I mean... Yeah.
Wow, look at those. Look at those. Those are like some old school fighter planes.
That's like Lewis and Max coming
those
together.
are like some old school fighter planes.
I know, but they're coming together.
That is so cool.
You didn't get my F1 reference.
Honestly, though, I think, well, it's a random tangent, but I think those airplanes, they might even show up in the video. If you can see them. They might be like how they're, like they patrol for like the cartel and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, that might be it. Anyway, there's a lot of like military, obviously, security around.
We're super safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that like the pit strategy of Mercedes was on point. Literally, it was Christian Horner who even said over the radio to Max, it's going to be Hungary, 2019 all over again, because their pit strategy was just better. And because Max was on like well-worn tires, he had absolutely no way of fighting off Lewis Hamilton. And that's despite Bottas putting up a good amount of effort against his teammate. Yeah. That's despite Mazepin being Mazepin and holding up everybody, you know, and Toto Wolff was even upset about that. And just, Max's own tenacity.
I think everybody is, man.
Yeah. He's the worst.
There's memes about him.
He's the worst. Yeah. There was like a 6 carousel meme that you showed me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just the worst. He's gonna... I just don't agree that he should be an F1 driver. He has shown me nothing to support that. But he's regardless,
rookie,
I was really proud of the way that Max performed, but I just want to see him get out of the gate, stay ahead of the gate, and also like be able to defend against Hamilton.
I don't think there was much he could do against him.
No.
I think he raced a pretty... I mean, he did everything he could. The Mercedes was just faster.
Yeah, and their pit strategy was just better.
They were pretty perfect on like every single level. So
Max lost that ability to pit when he could have because Hamilton took it first. I mean, they didn't even let their pit wall flinch like Mercedes.
Yeah.
They literally had them stationary until Hamilton made a bold move into the pit lane.
Yeah, which, I mean, we were like kind of going over that in terms of like it was like a crazy like move they made like strategically, right?
Yeah.
We were saying. with
Somebody
like
had to cut it
Bono, the
first.
race engineer, Toto, even Hamilton himself, you know, obviously. I mean, allegedly they said that. It's like, okay, they're like, you know, if we got to do this, we got to do it quick and catch Red Bulls unawares and just pull off the undercut, like, without anybody noticing. So, I mean, you know.
And then Max was just stuck there.
He was handcuffed,
on his tires, you know, literally treading away.
Yeah.
He was able to get away twice, actually. The first time was the race beginning, and then the second time was when Tsunoda had the, unfortunately, had to stop and had
He slid off.
Yeah, the safety car was deployed, and then he still got away really well.
Yeah.
Bottas struggled.
Yeah.
He just consistently is struggling.
Yeah. Bottas is, I don't know, we always get onto like a Hamilton, Bottas, Mercedes conversation every podcast, but it's an interesting topic because it's like, I honestly think his job is at stake.
Yeah.
I think his job is at stake with Mercedes. Like, and it's like every race, it's like you either show why you're an asset to the team or you show why you need to leave. But then again, it's like when your racing partner is Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
You know, like you're trying to prove yourself against possibly the greatest Formula One driver ever.
I have a very poor,
and that's a big shoe to fill in Bottas's case, you know.
I have a very poor
what
comparison to make.
I'm just gonna adjust the camera setting. Yeah, go for it though.
You know how there are parents who back in the day it was like My Sister's Keeper, they had children for parts basically with one of their children got sick. You've heard of this.
What are you talking about?
You've heard it in Grey's Anatomy. You've heard it in My Sister's Keeper. I think that's the name of the book and the name of the movie where you have a child who's sick and they end up having another kid so that if the first child gets sick, that second child can basically be a blood donor or an organ donor or a bone marrow donor or whatever it is.
That's messed up. I've never heard this.
You've heard of this, but anyways, I feel like that's kind of Bottas in and I know this is a terrible example, but I feel like that's Bottas and
Hamilton.
Mercedes. He is there to keep the golden child safe. He's there to he's there to keep him safe. And his job is really to keep Mercedes, Sergio Perez, or sorry, not Mercedes, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, away as long as possible.
Yeah.
And again, keep Lewis Hamilton safe. We'll have to talk about the Sister's Keeper later. Maybe that'll be our book club.
That sounds like we never watched that movie The Island, did we?
No.
Where that's kind of what it's all about. They clone people and they use them for
parts?
For parts, essentially.
So
did I tell you about that movie?
No, I don't want to know about that movie.
No, that's
it's an interesting point though.
The thing is, here's the problem. Here's the problem with the whole Hamilton-Bottas situation, from my point of view anyway. When you elevate one driver over another, naturally the driver that's been put down is going to feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah.
Right? And Bottas is clearly feeling some kind of way about that. He talked about it in Drive to Survive season 3, and he's showing it when he's racing. He doesn't want to be the buffer to hold up the rest of the grid so that Lewis Hamilton can win. He doesn't like that anymore. Yeah. Right? That's not in his interest anymore. So
with that being said, he's not serving only the interests of Mercedes anymore.
Yeah.
So something has to give.
He's taking more risks. He's being more tenacious. Even during Spain, he was talking about when they were racing, they're don't hold up Lewis. Don't hold up. What do you expect the guy to do? As a race engineer, as Total Wolff, everybody else, unless they know for sure Hamilton's out of the race, they're always going to tell Bottas to yield to him or hold up the pack. And now you're telling him not to hold him up. Who else is on Valtteri's side other than Valtteri, right? You know what I mean?
And his sweet, sweet girlfriend. He does seem happier this year.
The pit wall doesn't have his back.
No, they obviously
don't. The race engineers don't have his back.
Yep.
Total Wolff, I don't think has his back, if we're going to be totally honest.
Yep.
I think sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I feel like Total Wolff just says things to appear he's
equal, balanced.
Balancing both drivers, but he's not. He really isn't.
Apparent. It's very apparent. You're even on their social media page. But all of our rants about Mercedes and, you know, Bottas and everything aside, there were some other really key takeaways.
Like what?
So I actually watched the, what is it called? I watched the, bye. Adios. See. So I watched the replay of Monaco. Okay,
Which
like
one?
the highlights of 2019. So we skipped Monaco in 2020 because of the COVID.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have Monaco back.
Oh my God, Monaco is...
I think for a lot of people, though, it's their favorite race.
That's where I want to go with you.
Yeah.
So I watched the replay, and something that stuck out to me was there's a difference between what you and I talk about with the tenacity of Max Verstappen and aggression.
Yes.
So, for example, Stroll in the Spanish Grand Prix, he was aggressive unnecessarily. Do you remember when it was like him, Alonso, and I can't remember who else it was, and Stroll kind of like aggressively blocked? We were talking about this during the Spanish Grand Prix.
I don't know if I can remember this.
So that happened, trust me. And Monaco, what happened was he did something very similar, but to Kimi Räikkönen. And Stroll just aggressively drives, but it doesn't pay off. I feel like that's just a huge thing that he's struggling with. Like it's just not like, I think he's like grasping at straws right now.
Stroll?
Yeah. He's not doing as well as I expected him to do in Aston Martin.
Neither is Vettel. I think there's a difference between you need a certain level of aggression, you need also patience, you know, and you need to mix that with skill. I think Lewis Hamilton mixes all those the best.
Yep.
And he's also in an amazing car.
Yep.
I think Max Verstappen does it very well as well. I think at times he can be a little higher on the aggression and lower on the patience, and that's when he loses. But I'm getting the sense from him, especially this season, that he's really like dialed it in very well.
He has.
You know, and it's even in the previous race, I can't remember if it was the one before Spain. You know when he was like leading?
Yeah.
No, he overtook Hamilton. He had Hamilton's number at that time, but then he had to give the spot back because he went outside track limits.
I think.
In that race, he showed a ton of patience and a ton of skill.
He's in it for the long haul.
And in this one, he raced very much the same way, but he knew that Hamilton had him beat, right?
Yeah.
A lot of drivers can get very like frustrated or upset or whatnot, but I think he knew the writing on the wall. He's like, they're just, and even in the post-race interview, he's like, they were faster.
Yep.
He's like, there was nothing I could do. They were just quicker.
Onwards and upwards, though, is always what he's been doing instead of like just focusing on.
Yeah.
But you know, you can see again. I'm gonna have to like mirror it to 2019 Monaco.
Yeah.
You can see that Max has changed and grown so much because in Monaco, he and Lewis were like wheel to wheel a couple of times, and one time it was like right at the end of the race. I think like lap 73 or something, where he went around the chicane, like Lewis went around the chicane. Max was about to try to pass him. Yeah. But they like made contact.
Yeah.
And like you can just see how much he's grown.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't make those like brash moves. He knows that if a move is gonna pay off, it's gotta be safe and it's gotta be tenacious. But he can't just make a move knowing fully well that could take him out of the race and take him out of the points.
I mean, to your point though, like especially if you're in a Red Bull, like that's a fast enough car to get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
I get it, unless it's like the last like lap or 2 laps or 5 laps. Yeah, then I get when you got to make
big moves.
But in any other time, you can really, deploy patience and over time, hopefully you'll get there. And you gotta, because it's like, the race is, no pun intended, but it is like a marathon. Like you got to look at the entirety of the race, and that's a big reason I think why Mercedes does so well.
Yep, they're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
I mean, they would love, I'm sure Red Bull would love to have, Sergio Perez hitting that 4th position, because if Sergio had been in the position he was supposed to be in, and I say that with like a lot of quotations, then he would have been able to hold off like Lewis and Bottas. But it unfortunately didn't work out that way. We had Hamilton, Max, Bottas, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and I think it was Daniel Ricciardo in 6th.
Yeah.
And that was a
Bottas,
big thing.
Leclerc, Ricciardo, Sainz, Norris, and Ocon. And then the usual suspects going down towards the bottom.
Down. You know, actually no, before I get to Alonso, this was the first time that Daniel had finished ahead of his partner, ahead of his, race mate.
Yeah.
Since the start. It wasn't the greatest. I think 6th, P6 is where he landed.
Yeah.
But, he is showing, Lando is kind of the golden boy of McLaren.
Yeah.
As indicated by your news today.
Yeah.
With the
The thing is though, before we get into that, is I think on this particular race though, Sainz split the McLarens.
Mm-hmm.
And Sainz is a very skilled driver, but I think there has to be something said about like just holding a driver up. Like Sainz is very skilled, and who's to say that if Sainz wasn't in that position, he could have caught up to Ricciardo and passed him as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of factors there. I think it's a one-off because like for all the races we've seen so far, Norris has been the better driver for the most part. Maybe Ricciardo figured something out. Ricciardo's like extremely skilled too, right? Like maybe he figured something out.
He's like the new kid in school. You know what I mean? I feel like I identify a lot with Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Because I change schools like every other year for like a really long time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Daniel does.
Yeah.
He's changed teams so much in the last few years that it's like he has to get used to a new car, a new situation, and he's getting better at it. But even he said in his like recent discussions with like the Formula One journalists, he's like, I haven't figured it out yet. Like I'm gonna try, but it does take me some time to figure it out. And he's like, Lando's obviously got it figured out, so he's gonna try to like go off of that and mimic that as best as he can.
Right.
But it's just something that he hasn't yet gotten that power button for.
Yeah, I think he'll get there.
I think he will.
And I think it'll be very interesting to see him race.
In Monaco?
Monaco, Monte Carlo.
Because he's a winner. He's a 2018 winner.
He knows that. Yeah, he knows that track. It's an interesting track, though, because it's not a lot of, like, flat out. It's a lot of turning, right? It's a lot of short, interesting turns. You don't have, like, I think that's the only race that has, like, turns like that.
All those chicanes.
As far as I know, it has one of the sharpest turns in Formula One, period.
Yeah.
On that circuit. So, it takes a lot more than just speed and a, fast car. You have to have definitely a lot of skill as a driver, probably a decent tire and pit stop strategy to win that race.
And a lot of tenacity.
Yeah.
Leclerc did amazing at the beginning of the 2019 Monaco.
Yeah.
He, I think we watched it. He went zoop, zoop, zoop through and through. He was super bold, and then he messed up, and he was out of his Grand Prix, his home Grand Prix.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of these drivers, you have to take them, again, you have to take the move when you see it. It's going to be high risk, high reward. That's why I love Monaco. It's high risk, high reward.
How much passing is in Monaco?
Very little.
I think there's not much.
I don't think there's any.
So I mean,
I think it's just on that straight.
Yeah, then if that.
Yeah.
I think because that straight is just a tunnel, right? And it's like it's a curve. It's a turn essentially. But I think quali is going to be very interesting. I'm so excited to see quali just because the Red Bulls are quick, man. The Red Bulls are fast. I think Ricciardo could pull. Imagine if we had a really weird grid, like a Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Bottas kind of thing. That would be insane.
I would not be surprised to see Daniel Leclerc up there, because Leclerc, this is his home Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Daniel, because he's a winner. Lewis, I feel like, is going to be up there, but I mean, he struggled in 2019 to win. Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. I remember that. I remember him being on the radio with Bono and being like, what tire strategy did you put me on? I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
And I remember us talking about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff.
Yeah, clearly.
I come correct.
Jeez, man.
What else from the last race? I think the biggest things that stick out to me are just little nuances. Pierre Gasly had a 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
Poor guy, being out of position.
No, I mean there is still like a ton. Yeah, so I guess Norris signing the 3-year deal with McLaren.
Is it 3 years?
I don't know if it was 3 years. I'm sorry, I don't know. But they said multi-year. So I'm assuming 3 years or more. You know, 1 year they would have said he signed for 1 year. 2 year, I don't know if that counts as multi.
I think
Really.
you're right. It's 3 years.
It
and
could.
beyond.
So I'm assuming it's probably 3 years plus, if not a little more. Interesting move by Lando. But then again, he's doing pretty decent in McLaren. But he's super young.
Yes.
And I think when it comes to like a driver early in their career, especially when you're with a team like McLaren,
Yeah.
I think it's very beneficial
Yeah.
to be with them longer term.
Right.
So you can really learn what it's like to race in a like solid car with a solid team and really get your skills there. And you know, he's showing like flashes of brilliance. And if he can make it happen, I think that sets him up very well for his future.
What do you always say to me? Like right place,
right time,
right everything, right? Lewis was that. I almost wonder right now if Hamilton or Norris, like right place.
Just setting it up.
Yeah, McLaren. He's young. He's just started his entire career. This was his first this is his first team, right?
Yeah.
And so now the gridlock it's locked in for McLaren, right? There's no changes. 2022 is going to be the exact same because Ricciardo signed, I think it was a 2-year deal. So
with
this
McLaren?
I think so. Yeah, I think that was like the base that they were willing to do.
Yeah.
And then Lando's got this multi-year, so he's good through 2022.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think one of the other really cool kind of things about Barcelona is it just kind of showed you, again, like the development of the racers, of the drivers, you know? I'm still, and I wonder if it's, and I don't want to get caught up in that either about just focusing on Mercedes and Red Bull, but I almost feel like they, with McLaren, are dominating so much. Like McLaren, I still think is doing really, really well.
Who?
Mercedes.
The engines.
Red Bull and the teams, Red Bull and McLaren. Like I feel like we all get stuck on talking about them a lot, but the thing is that there is not much going on. Like AlphaTauri, Pierre has in the ocean, gone.
Yeah.
Like, where the heck is Pierre?
The AlphaTauris are kind of on a bit of a struggle.
Bus?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's weird. Like even Yuki is. I feel like when everything just started, like people were really hyped for Yuki.
Yeah.
And he's not really performing, and neither is Pierre Gasly for that fact.
I don't know what happened to him.
You know, we're not really like. I mean, we're seeing like okay performance. Like, okay, Gasly was in points. He was in 10th. You know.
But I mean, with how? Yeah.
Tsunoda did DNF.
Well, yeah,
obviously.
he's the DNF guy.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to be struggling a bit.
Even when we were watching the race, like we did see that battle for 10th. Like we saw, I think it was like amongst like Alonso, Stroll, Gasly maybe even, was it?
Yeah.
And Alonso was up into points and it was going to be like his first point since coming back. And then he like got into 16th.
Yeah.
And I know there was like a little hustle between him and Stroll and it got investigated.
Yeah.
But like Alonso's just kind of like, again, I know he was this like great driver and I remember watching him actually because I remember seeing him in Carlos Sainz race.
Yeah.
But again, just like not really doing well.
Alonso is one of those guys. He came into F1 with a lot of hype, but doesn't seem to be really paying off.
I don't even see him in the points.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I that's like kind of disappointing to me.
Or I should say he came back to F1 with a lot of hype. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. You know, they're marketing F1 however they need to market it, hyping it up however they need to hype it up.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, we're a few races in still. It's not like a ton.
Yeah.
You know, we still have a pretty decent season to go.
19 or 15 races.
One thing that I do like quite a bit, though, is, and we talk about this, I think, every podcast, is Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, Charles Leclerc. Carlos
Carlos
Sainz.
Sainz.
You know, the Ferraris
4th
are...
and 6th, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're consistently
Within 7.
seeing a Ferrari in 4th. But they're not able to break the podium just yet.
But at least they're coming back. And that's like the hero story to me.
Yeah.
You know, they really struggled a lot last year.
Yeah.
And to see them back up in the points even is just kind of amazing.
It's nice. It's nice to see that they're kind of coming back, you know, to form.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting because I was kind of hoping that there would be like a solid, like, upper field, like on the top of the grid battle.
Yeah.
Which there seems to be a little bit of, and like the midfield is all over the place, but the upper midfield is like really interesting. You're seeing a lot of people like, and
it's a lot of like shifting.
Yeah.
You know, you got your top 3, but you don't have anyone past that.
Yeah.
That's always kind of up in the air and shuffling and twisting, and I love that, and that's why all the changes are happening in F1.
I feel like it's starting to be like a little more, like, for example, you're always seeing Charles Leclerc up there.
Yeah.
You know, you're always seeing him up there.
Yeah.
You're seeing Lando Norris up there.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently. So, I mean, I feel like the exciting thing about that is like any one of these guys could get on the podium.
Yep.
If something were to happen, like some kind of crazy safety car, one of like let's say like Hamilton and Verstappen like crash or something, that opens the floodgates for like Leclerc and Norris. It becomes a whole new race.
Podium to even get P1.
A whole new race after all that.
That's kind of what happened in Monaco.
Yeah.
So what happened was Max had a 5-second penalty, and Vettel was in, I think, P3.
Yeah.
And he got moved up, and Bottas was in P4, but he got moved up too.
Yeah.
And like, because Max had an unsafe release, and he ended up getting a 5-second penalty, and it's like that opened up to, you know, Vettel was all of a sudden in P2, you know, and I just think that that's like, I think that the changes that are being made in F1 are supporting like racing, like actual racing. At least some of the changes.
Yeah, they want to make it a lot more competitive, you know, a lot more
entertaining.
You want to see more passing, more overtaking, because like it's not fun to just see like, you know, the top 2-3 guys win by like a minute ahead of everyone else. You know, no one wants to see that. So
what's the gap like in going into Monaco? Like, is because you know sometimes like we see like a minute plus. Do you think that same gap happens in Monaco?
A minute plus?
Yeah, like between like let's say Hamilton and like Latifi.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like it depends on what happens to like, if you got to keep in mind, like it's got to be, you got to take into account all drivers who didn't crash.
Yeah. Or
didn't spin out or didn't have like a puncture or something like that, right?
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the double stack of the Williams.
What happened
in
with the
Barcelona? Remember?
What?
Remember, like, I think it was, I can't remember who asked it, like, of the journalists, but Latifi and George got double stacked, and they were like, have you guys ever practiced that? And they were like, yeah, like, we actually practice it, like, every pit session.
No way.
But Latifi got, like, the short end of the stick on that one,
really?
for sure, yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate.
Double stacking is always tricky.
I saw the Williams do that, and I was like, did they even know how to do that?
Actually, I think he, like, kind of... Didn't he, like, hold up Latifi? He did, right?
Who?
Russell. On that double
Did
stack.
he?
Somebody got held up, I'm pretty sure. They had to slow down when coming into the pits.
Maybe it was. I'm sure Russell held up Latifi.
Yeah.
Talk about the 1-2, right?
I know.
Max got screwed out of a pit stop. His pit stop was 4+.
Yeah.
Remember, like the left rear or something?
I think it was the right front.
All right, whatever.
Was it? I can't remember.
I don't know. We'll look it up after.
Yeah, but
Who's
he
right?
he did get slowed down.
So that caught him by 1 second, which, I mean, any second counts, right? When you're racing against Hamilton, every second counts.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try to, because at the end of the day, it's like that 2 seconds is huge, you know. But I mean, I don't know. Given like the last race, it didn't even matter.
No.
You know, it didn't even matter. He caught him. I don't even know if the tire strategy really mattered. I think Hamilton was just quicker.
Oh, I think it mattered for sure. He caught him 5 laps in.
I mean, like you gotta switch. Like I should say, like just when he did it. I don't think when he did it necessarily because he was gonna throw on new tires anyway. It's like I think if he threw on new tires, because Max would have to, I think, stop anyway as well and change his tires. I think he was gonna catch him regardless. You know, I think some circuits, certain cars are just faster than others.
Better, yeah.
Right, and I think this was one of those cases where Mercedes was a little quicker. So
yeah. I think it's just good to know where you are on the grid, you know, and in your team too. Like I think Ricardo often talks about like where McLaren's do well. Like he is a little bit nervous about McLaren doing well at Monaco. Yeah. But he's like anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
So like I think I'm so terrified that this is gonna blow into the water.
What?
It's gonna be Jamaica all over again.
Well, to put your little.
No, I'm not gonna put my Rusty on.
Why,
no,
man?
Because that looks so weird.
It's cute.
No.
Go for it, man. You should go for it.
No, man, I'm good. I'm good.
It's like really sunny. The sun keeps popping in and out. I'm just hoping the exposure on the video is good.
At least people won't think that we're making up the beach.
Yeah.
But if we just had like a green screen and like white noise.
Yeah, that's like tricky to do. Without it looking like fake. This is real, by the way.
We have
all the people
locals.
walking around. Yeah, there's actual people walking behind us.
I'm so sad. I actually now really thought that Checo was going to show up. We hyped it up so much in my head that I really thought he was going to show up.
Imagine if he did.
We kept seeing people, like we saw a guy that looked like Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
At the taco station. So good.
Oh yeah. I was like, hey, it's Carlos Sainz. And he was like, what? I'm like, oh. Yeah.
He's in Monaco.
If you like split second, he looked like Carlos. He looked like Carlos. Carlos Sainz.
Man, I would kill to be in Monaco right now, though. That would be legit.
I mean, I think almost anyone who watches F1 would love to be in Monaco right now to see that. That's probably, I think, like in terms of like watching Grand Prix, I think Monaco for most people is like on the top of their list as to what they would want to see.
I'm so excited. I honestly, like, this is one of my favorite races.
Yeah.
So which race got dropped again? It's Turkey, right? Turkey got dropped.
Canada got dropped first, and then Turkey was subbed in, and then Turkey got dropped. And I think they're going doubleheader with the Austrian Grand Prix, and then they threw in another one. I can't remember which one it was though, but it was, I think, doubleheader with Austria. Yeah, Austria and Turkey. Yeah. No, Turkey got dropped, right?
Yeah, Turkey got dropped.
Yeah, so it's Austria, and then you know, as far as I know, or maybe they just doubled through in Austria and double-headed it, and that was it.
Maybe.
I could be wrong, but
we'll have to see. Yeah. I'm really excited for Monaco just because I love all the chicanes and the tight turns, and I just, like I said, I love the races where, like, I really hope it doesn't rain there because I think it's like too much action. Like, Monaco stands by itself. It's like it doesn't need, it's like the most beautiful person. Like, it doesn't need makeup, it doesn't need its hair done. It just needs itself. Like, it doesn't need extra action. Like, it brings its own action.
I think Monaco was like, it's the longest running original circuit in Formula One. As far as I know, I believe that's correct.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, and it's the rare one that's like a street circuit. They don't have too many street circuits.
No.
I think it's hard to kind of maintain like roads to that level.
Right.
You know, like what other city has, like, you know, Monaco? You could probably, actually Dubai is not a street circuit,
right.
Is it?
No, it's not, but I love watching Dubai.
Yas Marina.
Yeah.
There is another one that's a street circuit.
I can't remember.
It's at Singapore? Is Singapore
You might be
a street
right.
circuit?
You might be right.
Yeah, but it makes sense because it's like you have to have your roads like fully paved to be able to support F1 cars. You can't have potholes and, you know, manhole covers and stuff like that. It's got to be like impeccably done, and Monaco's got insane
all
amounts
those
of money.
resources,
So
to do it.
Makes sense why they can make it happen every year, you know. But
man, on a slightly unrelated F1.
Yeah.
Roman Grosjean's doing really well in Indy.
Oh yeah.
I've been following him quite a bit. Yeah.
He got pole position.
He got pole. I don't know what his finish was, and honestly, I can't see my phone.
I saw like a notification pop up about that race, but I didn't like watch or look at the results of Indy. But yeah, good for him. I'm really glad that he's like, you know, finding some success there in IndyCar, especially after the way he went out. Yeah.
How did he do?
I don't know. You're gonna have to look up the results. I think my reception is a little dodgy here, though.
Yeah, well, and everything that he is writing is in French. For my English friends, it means I'm going to comment. Oh, he's going to comment the Monaco GP in French. Yes.
Oh, he's going to be on the French commentary team.
Yes.
That's fun.
Oh my God.
Good for him.
I don't know how to speak any French.
I think I don't know why. I don't even know if it's the like crash and everything that brought a little more
personality.
Yeah, I guess personality / attention to Roman. But I like him a lot.
I
just
love
as
Roman.
a person. I don't know why though. I think it's just every time you see him, he's all smiley and happy and everything.
Yeah.
On the track, I wasn't a huge fan, but you know, I don't know. It's weird how that perspective of him kind of
shifted
changed a little bit. Yeah, I think he was maybe just getting like really frustrated in Formula One because he wasn't like winning.
Yeah, I mean Formula One is the creme de la creme, right? It's the top tier. It is very competitive. It's very difficult, and that kind of stress, it deserves to be like respected and admired. That these 20, I'm gonna say 19, because I really don't like Mazepin. These like 19 young men, like they choose to do this day in and day out, you know?
Yeah.
I really don't like Mazepin, love. I can't. He holds up. I mean, even Toto was ticked as anything.
Mazepin is one of those weird things that it's like every race now, people are complaining about him.
And it's not like we're looking for issues. I mean, not Bono. Toto was even like, you need to show him the blue flags because he's going to be the reason that we don't win the race. I mean, like, calm down, you know, Toto, because... Oh, shouts to Dr. Wolf, by the way, because he got a honorary degree.
What the hell?
Sorry, it's Sir Lewis and Dr. Wolf. They all need to calm down with their, like, accolades.
It sounds like, you know, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of deal.
Yeah.
Sir Lewis.
And we still call Valtteri.
Yeah. He doesn't have nothing.
No.
It ain't Dr. Bottas.
No. He's just known as the butt guy. Everybody that I ever talked to is like, oh, Bottas. Like, I saw his butt on Netflix. And I'm like, can we remember anything else?
That was like memed so hard.
It was. It really was.
Which was hilarious.
I really think that at the end of the day, one of the things that we need to kind of be remembering is that this is like a risky sport.
Yeah.
I really thought she was going to knock over the camera.
I know, man.
And
people keep walking by her, like, and she have a towel over it so it doesn't overheat. And people keep walking by, like.
And we just keep losing our train of thought.
A part of me is like, I'm gonna have to jump out of this thing and lunge forward and catch it. You know,
no.
Although it should be
fine.
Like relative. If the side part has like the mic plugged in, if those ports got anything on them, that would suck. The lens has a filter on it,
yeah,
so even if
fine.
it went face first into the sand,
it'd be okay.
But obviously, I don't want this thing to fall in the sand. Yeah.
But anyways, I just like, I really like enjoy watching these like new drivers grow.
Yeah.
I still believe that Danny Kvyat's time in like F1 was what it needed to be, limited over. I don't really miss him. I still think that Yuki's gonna do well. I just think it's gonna take him time to develop.
I don't think he'll do well this year, though.
No.
I think he'll just be continuing to struggle the rest of the year. Yeah.
I worry about Pierre. I haven't seen any greatness, flickers of it, even in the last 5 races or 4 races.
Yeah. I think a part of it is not only just the lack of AlphaTauri performance, but also the increase in a lot of the midfield guys. You know, like McLaren's doing very well. You know, like last year, Ferrari was struggling. They're starting to pull away now. They're starting to come up again. Yes. So I think, they are, like, I mean, like, if you take all of that into account, because you have 4 drivers, right? If you think about it, McLaren, 2 drivers, Ferrari, 2 drivers. That's 4 positions.
Yeah.
That would be, like, in kind of like the mid-ish field.
Right.
Pierre Gasly finished 10th, right? You take those 4 guys who have improved quite a bit, the cars have improved, and you drop them down, that puts Pierre Gasly in P6, makes him look like a rock star.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's, again, anything can happen.
When a team like really, you know, pulls things together, all it takes is 2 teams to really like bump you completely out of like, you know, solid points. I think a part of what's happening with Pierre is that, you know, I don't know if he's necessarily struggling, you know.
I just don't see, like, you know what I mean? Okay, so we've talked about this before. There's differences between gaining positions because others don't do well or gaining positions on your own accord. So, for example, Perez is one of the people that gains positions on his own accord. Gasly might be, other than his win, one of those people who gains positions based off of other people's mess-ups.
Perez is also in a Red Bull, you know?
Yeah, AlphaTauri is kind of similar to that.
That does play a bit of a factor.
All right, then, I felt like last year everybody kept saying Lando Norris only got stuff when other people messed up.
Yeah.
Now he's doing things on his own accord. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of differences. Stroll, I feel like, is in the same position. I feel like he's aggressive and he doesn't get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
He was so aggressive. I will always parallel now, 2019 against, I think it was Kimi, to Stroll against Alonso in the Spanish Grand Prix. And I'm just like...
I don't know what's going on with Stroll. I don't know what's going on with Aston Martin. I don't know, maybe I was like feeding myself a bit of a fairy tale.
You were drinking the juice.
I was drinking the Aston Martin. I was drinking the green flavored Kool-Aid.
You just liked the livery. Is that livery or livery?
It's livery.
That just feels very like worky.
It's derived from French. Don't hate. Second language in Canada.
Yes. Ooh, I got sand all over myself.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a car. I don't know if it's a driver's.
Or it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
It's usually a combination of both.
Yeah.
They were doing better. They were doing more.
Hey, dude, English.
They were.
You know how to speak it?
I feel like I've messed up my English, Punjabi, and Spanish just trying to.
Being here is trying to speak everything all at once.
I feel like they did better in the pink cars than they're doing right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Why
is that?
Is it
the power pink?
I think that's just a fact. I don't know what changed. I don't know what changed on the cars. Like
Stroll's dad got older.
Yeah, but what he turned into Santa Claus.
Yeah.
What would you really need to change on the car? Really, if you're getting that kind of performance, like what would you need to change?
No.
I don't understand.
But that's where they'll phrase "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" comes from.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you do have money, you do start to try to fix things even though they're not broken.
I think maybe it's possible that maybe they tried to develop and it just went south.
Yep.
That's probably likely what happened, but...
We'll see what happens. Again, we're only 5 races. This will be our 5th race in for the most part, and we'll have to see where these young men just kind of go.
Yeah.
I am anticipating that the grid lineup will be similar to previous qualifications. However, I think that the finals, the final race results, are going to be a lot different, because I think qualifying in Monaco is very different than finishing the race. And I can't give you my 1, 2, 3 this time because we haven't watched quali yet.
Super apparent.
What?
Because the streets are so narrow.
Yeah, anything could happen.
Yeah.
This is, and I feel
Jinx.
like, you owe me a soda.
I said Jinx, you owe me the soda.
No, but I said it first.
No.
My rules.
I'll get you a Coke. I'll get you as many as you want.
I wanted to actually be doing this holding a pina colada. I wanted to be doing that so badly, but I don't think I'm coordinated enough to do all of this.
And we're not on our our own resorts beach, so they won't give us drinks here. They won't give us anything. Food, drink, nothing.
That's all right.
Yeah, which is fine.
It's a beautiful beach,
This
though.
is a nice beach. What were we talking about?
I was talking about how qualification, I don't necessarily think that it's going to be indicative of the results here in Monaco, because I really think that the results in Monaco are Barcelona, I expected pole P2, P3 to be similar, because it's straight, it's not very complicated, it's not very twisty turny, and it was for the most part.
Yeah.
But it was actually.
When is practice?
Tomorrow.
What is today?
Today's Wednesday, I think.
Oh, it's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Thursday, so Friday would be practice. So we will
I think it's a little different, actually.
I think you're right. I think I saw something about it. Today is part 1 or something, or tomorrow's part 1 and then part 2 is Friday.
I think so. I think they were doing something along those lines. Practice 1 is the 20th, which is tomorrow. Yeah. So we have practice 1 tomorrow early in the morning. Wow.
We're gonna be going
practice
to see the
2 is the same day. Yeah, and practice 3 is on the 22nd,
which is
along with quali. Yeah.
My mom's
birthday.
birthday.
We can't. We're not gonna make it because we're gonna be swimming with some sea turtles and exploring a cave. here in Mexico.
called a cenote.
And also seeing
Cenotes.
a Mayan ruin as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we will catch practice later. And
I think so.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, maybe or I don't know. We'll see what we want to do.
It's going to be a jam-packed day tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we got dinner resos.
Yeah. No, we do.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Anyways.
But yeah, I mean, I think, Monaco's always interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see how things pan out. I am like, I don't think we're gonna see pretty much like our vanilla, I don't think we're gonna see a vanilla result at the end. I'm a little curious if we're even gonna see like a qualifying grid the same way that we usually see.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure about that. Just because there's so much that has really changed. I mean, there's been quite a bit that's changed grid-wise. And I don't know if this still holds true, but you know how they say with the Red Bulls?
Mm-hmm.
Are the Red Bulls faster on straights or the Mercedes?
The Mercedes are faster, I think, on the straight.
So I guess in theory, Verstappen and Perez have a bit of an advantage with Red Bull when it comes to Monaco because it's so twisty-turny. All they have to do is get because there's historically not a lot of passing in Monaco, like you just got to put the car on the front of the grid and that should be it. And that's kind of nuts because if we extrapolate that, let's say if Red Bull does well here and they put both cars in 1-2 on quali and also finish 1-2 in the race, that's huge in terms of points.
Do you want an additional ingredient that's going to change things?
What's up?
We have a lot of new drivers to Monaco.
What do you mean?
We've got, I don't know if Russell has, I think he's been to Monaco. Latifi, I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
He's been to Monaco. Those, I'm not too sure. No, Russell definitely has. But we've got Yuki. Mazepin, I'm sure, is going to mess everything up for everyone.
Mazepin's probably going to, crash
Schumacher
the first turn. Yeah.
Is new. If that happens, I'll buy you a soda.
Yeah.
I'll buy everybody a soda.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't crash into Max.
Yeah.
Who else do we have that's new there? I said Sonoda. Has Lando ever raced? I think he did because he's been with McLaren for 3 years. So then he definitely did go in 2018.
Yeah, he's been racing. Let's see the standings.
Lewis, Bottas has definitely been there.
Yeah, that's, I think, a lot of them.
Alonso has been there, but not in a McLaren, or not in a...
Leclerc, Ricardo, Perez, Ocon, Tsunoda. Yeah, pretty much all of them. Yeah, I think we got them.
Yeah. Alpine.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of interesting. I think that also adds that little sprinkle of salt to the fun ingredient of Monaco.
Gives
because
it a little bit of spice.
It gives it some spice. Yeah.
You think we're going to see safety car?
Oh, safety car.
Guaranteed?
Yeah. I think we're going to see a safety car within the first 2 laps.
Safety car always makes things really, really interesting.
I never get worried about, I never, want for, crashes or anything, because I don't think that that's what makes
maybe
racing.
Like a puncture,
but I feel that
front wing comes off.
This specific race is just so interesting because it's, everything that could go wrong usually does go wrong. There's punctures, there's people who go off the track. I really, really, really hope it doesn't rain in Monaco because I really feel like that would just put such a damper on my day of racing because I just feel like it adds. I don't think it rains in Monaco.
I know some people I have mixed feelings about rainy races. I don't know. It depends. I don't know because I feel like you don't always see, drivers race to the full potential when it's raining. I like rainy races if it knocks Lewis Hamilton out of the front. Yeah, I don't know who can argue with that.
I think it's a different type of skill set though that you have to race in the rain. But I don't like to overdo it. I like 1 or 2 a season, and then I'm good with that.
I feel like rainy races are kind of like a wash, no pun intended. But it kind of I don't know if it tells you a lot or doesn't tell you a lot. It is what it is. And we've seen this before. I think I remember seeing this on Drive to Survive season 1, so I don't know which season it was, but you have everybody just slipping and sliding and going off track, and it's just what the it can be very exciting, that's for sure, but it doesn't really tell you anything about the drivers. I mean, I guess it does, who can race in rain and who can't,
but nothing more than that.
But nothing really more than that. It doesn't give you an accurate idea of how they're actually doing, how they're actually progressing, how the cars are actually going.
Yeah.
You know, it just lets you know, like, okay, who didn't slip, who didn't get screwed by the rain, and who was able to finish the race, really.
Exactly, yeah.
Who had the skill to do it, really. You know?
I think I would leave it at, I am excited for Monaco because Monaco stands on its own.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen it in, at least, we didn't see it last year. And so I'm really excited that we're back there because that is a race that I feel really puts everyone on a level playing field and gives them a chance to show what they're made of.
Did you have any more notes from the previous
Why are you
race?
calling me out? Huh? Sonoda had an engine failure. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah. That sucked for him.
Giovinazzi had a bit of a messy pit stop. I don't remember that. The double stack was aight for Williams.
That was your note?
Wow, yes.
I
still can't believe that Gasly got a 5-second penalty, but that is what it did. I actually put Verstappen's pit stop sucked, like in caps.
Yeah.
Nope, that's all I've got in terms of my notes.
And then I don't know if there's any like new news. I think we kind of went over like a decent amount of it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm really excited to see where Mercedes ends up because I know everyone's going to one day get tired of us talking about it, but I want to know where Mercedes is going to end up with their lineup next year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's a lot of options.
Who knows? Yeah. You know, because we didn't talk about this on here, but we talked about this, just you and me. Ocon is a junior driver.
Development driver.
For Mercedes.
Yeah, right, dude. Like Ocon, you think
Remember when he wasn't in...
No, I know, but you think
sorry.
they're going to pick him up? You think Mercedes is...
Well, I think
you
Toto...
could stay as a development driver, bro.
Toto was like, it's up to basically whoever is running Alpine right now. Like, if they feel like he's doing well there...
Toto's a genius.
Yeah, I know he is. He mind tricks you into believing that you're doing what you want to do, but it's really doing what he wants to do.
You see that big-ass iguana? You see that big iguana? There are dragons, literally.
I'm not kidding. They're like that. They're like that
There are
big.
some fat ones.
And they're like thick boys.
You know.
They're like thick boys.
No gracias.
No gracias, señor. Oh, está bien. Anyone want cigars?
Yeah, everyone just walks on the beach trying to sell us Cuban cigars all the time, which is awesome.
We have not purchased
necklaces.
them.
He's got those little necklaces. I low-key kind of want to get some Cuban cigars just to like have them. They look cool. Look at the little wood box. I like it. The little tin foil on them.
You want me to ask how much it is?
No. I mean, no. It's okay.
Okay. All right. He looked back at you.
That'd be cool, though.
Yeah, he knew. He knew you wanted it.
It looks super cool, doesn't it look? But the thing is, for me, it's like you should go to Cuba to get Cuban cigars.
Yeah,
not
so
Mexico.
then we'll just go to Cuba.
It's just they're just available here. But I think you can get them. I think you can get them in the States now too, right?
Yeah, you can.
They lift
they lift the embargo. I think by the time you get back, by the time you go to Cuba, you're going to be able to speak Spanish, right?
I could learn Spanish, dude. I literally could if
It's actually very cute hearing Cam talk in Spanish.
If yo hablo español.
Sí. Oh. What is the drink that we always ask for?
Agua con hielo, which is water with ice.
Yes.
Por favor, please.
Yes. He's very proper. Pleases and thank yous. What's good morning?
Buenos días. Buenas noches.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes is good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good.
Yeah, I said good night. You asked me good night, so
I said good morning.
Buenas noches.
You're the worst student. No,
I can converse with Carlos Sainz
and Checo.
Perez.
Yeah, I'm so sad. One day we'll be able to meet Checo and say, like...
I should tell him, be like, bro, if I learn Spanish, can we do like a full Spanish podcast? That'd be hilarious.
I could do one of those.
I hope one day we get like an F1 driver on this podcast.
If anyone has any connections to anyone at all,
Lewis
hit your girl
Hamilton,
up.
If you watch this podcast, I don't hate you. I think you're great. Please be on our podcast.
You would settle?
Yeah.
Would you die for Max Verstappen?
I would love to have Max Verstappen on.
Who's the one person you wouldn't want to have on?
Mazepin.
I would still want him on here.
Are you
Just to give him shit. I'd like to grill him.
I would, no, if I'm being real, I would, if any F1 driver was like, hey, I'll be on the podcast, I would take them on, obviously.
I'd even want like a former, like Hulkenberg. I would love to get Hulkenberg on.
Honestly, I really wouldn't mind it. For me, it's just who I would want to talk to.
We are like lowly, podcasting
I would
people.
absolutely love to talk to Verstappen. I would love to talk to Charles Leclerc.
I would love to talk to Toto Wolff. Or Christian Horner.
Toto Wolff would be, oh
or
man.
Gunta.
I think, I mean, any team principal, I think, but Christian Horner for sure. Yeah. I would love to talk to Christian Horner. I would love to talk to Toto Wolff. I feel like Toto Wolff, though, is so, like, proper in the things he says.
He wouldn't be as open with us.
Yeah, he's very like, I feel like he has a script.
Yeah, he holds everything really close to the chest.
Yeah, he knows everything he's talking about and everything he's saying. Yeah, so.
Is that a raindrop?
Raindrop. Drop.
No, it's
not.
All right, well, we will see you guys after
So
Monaco.
that's a wrap. Yeah. Right?
I think so.
Monaco Grand Prix is this weekend.
We're all over the place.
I don't know when. I think I'll try to upload this podcast before the race, obviously.
Yeah. I think you'll make it happen.
So I think that's it. Anything else,
my lover? It was fun. Thanks, my lover.
This was fun to do. So make sure you guys subscribe on Spotify. If you're watching the video version, subscribe on YouTube. Even if you're not watching it, go subscribe on the YouTube channel, the F1 My Life podcast YouTube channel. It has its own channel. And hope you guys enjoy the race. Oh, we should do predictions.
I was saying that before. I mean, I don't really think I can do. Oh, I see the big iguana now. Jesus. You see that guy on the side? You see that little guy? You see him moving?
Where?
Right there by the green thing. You see him? He's going towards the green thing.
You're like literally pointing at a bunch of trees. And
Come on, he's going towards the green backs.
He's not that big. We've seen bigger.
He's a big boy.
He's a thick boy.
I don't have anything that I'm basing this off of.
Obviously, yeah.
I always like to predicate that because I am very particular.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's swing for the fences. I don't even know if that's the correct phrase.
As long as it's the right fence. You're trying to be right here.
I would love to see. Oh, this is so stressful for me. I would love to see Max. Let's just do it. You know what? Screw it. Max, Checo.
Wow.
Lando.
Wow.
Daniel.
Wow, dude.
And Sainz. I'm not even putting Bottas or Hamilton.
5?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc. Okay.
Even though your boy was out in 2019. Got it.
Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc. Sainz, Bottas.
I reserve the right to change mine after I see qualification.
All right, fine. Fair enough.
Sounds like a plan.
It'll be on Instagram.
We'll see you on Monaco.
Make sure you guys subscribe. Thank you for watching.
We love you guys.
And we are out from
Thank you for all the 3 people that watch us.
Reporting live from Tulum, Mexico. Bye.
Bye.